ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णे विष्णुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So the third mantra says Jagarita Sthanaha Bahishprajñah Saptangah Ekonavimshati-mukhah Sthula Book Vaiśvānara Prathamah Padah. So we in the first and second mantra, the Omkāra inquiry and that Ātma inquiry has been introduced. And then Upanishad enters into the Ātma inquiry from the third verse, 3 to 7. And Upanishad pointed out that Atma has 4 quarters, meaning 4 aspects of, or 4 expressions of same Atma, which is one, which is Advaita, which is one and which is one without the second, which is limitless, Brahman. So these 4 quarters has been explained from third mantra. And we have seen this Mandukya has a very special prakriya to show the the non-duality of this Atma, even in spite of the experiences of the duality. And the experience of duality they are there, and in that what is there is one thing alone, and that is you. You are there. Everything is ultimately derives existence from you. Anything is there in the waking world is you. Anything is there in the dream world is you. The dreamer and the dream world, the waker and the waking world, everything. And what is there in a deep sleep state as a deep sleeper and the potential world, etc., is you. So this is a very big thing. Because sarvam hi etad brahma, second mantra said. Sarvam, all that is here is Brahman. Fine, that's fine. No, I am Ātma Brahman. But that Brahman which is everything is you. You the observer. You the observer. Please understand, knower. I have already talked to you which knower. Yeah. Because what you take generally as a knower, which is the direct meaning of the word I, is actually even that is also comes in observed. That also comes in experience. It's also experienced. The knower which person generally takes oneself to be is the mind, which is changing. And that is when it is changing, there is a changeless entity that is you. You are that, in fact. Behind the seer and the hearer, there is a one eye. The seer comes and goes. You don't go. If you go with the seer, then who is a hearer? Oh, Swamiji, same I is a hearer. Invariable knower behind the variable knowers. You are invariable consciousness behind variable. I am talking about in a waking state. So, these variable knowers come and go. Kartā, bhoktā, pramāta comes and goes. Seer, hearer, all comes and goes. You don't go. You don't go. Anything comes and goes, you are the very witness of that. Please understand. So, this is the ultimate viveka has to be done. That is whole. That is whole. That alone is present in all the three states. And so three states of experiences are there which are analyzed to point out ultimately that consciousness is actually without any subject-object discrimination. Subject, the knower, the waker and the waking world. There is no discrimination, there is no subject-object in me. That's a knower, that's a consciousness, that is witness. Which has no will, no effort to illumine, to land existence. No will. I just exist. Its existence is me. I am consciousness by nature and I exist. That's it. A self-existent principle, self-illumining principle I am. That is present as the very subject-object, as the very waker and the waking world, as the very dreamer and the dream world, as the very deep sleeper and the potential world. They derive existence from you. This is a Mandukya Prakriya. Without consciousness, nothing can be proven existent. Everything is proven existent. Or proven, everything is present in consciousness. Anything which is absent in consciousness. Presence and absence of anything doesn't make any difference to you. Please understand this. Presence of a given thing or absence of a given thing doesn't make any difference to you. When you are conscious of the mountain and now you are no more conscious of the mountain, suppose. Mountain comes and goes. You remain just consciousness. Please understand. So therefore they are just apparent thing. All the three states are apparent. This is what we have to learn. All the three states are just apparent. When mountain appears in consciousness, your consciousness has no change in consciousness. The mountain goes away from consciousness. There is no change in consciousness. You are the same consciousness. Same consciousness. That's what your experience also is. So waker goes away, well, no change. Waking world goes away, no change. Dreamer comes, dreamer goes away, dream world comes, dream world goes away. You are the same consciousness. They derive existence from you. They are shining in you. They become object of knowledge in you. Addition and removal of any world, any subject, any object doesn't make any difference to you. This is what you are. A addition of a ornament in a gold or a removal of an ornament from a gold doesn't make any difference in gold. Addition of a wave in a water or the removal of a wave from the water doesn't make any difference in water. Water is water. Same water. No difference at all. These three states has to be understood as an apparent thing. Just apparent. Just apparent, therefore Swamiji, once I know anything which is apparent, it goes away, need not go away. It need not. It need not go away. It remains at the level of experience. Apparent is what is apparent. What is experience is apparent. What is there as a tangible thing, as an essential thing, as a truth of that experience is you, the consciousness. Please understand this. This is what we have to understand. Not this subject object, I am knower, everything is known, and therefore there is duality and all that. There is no duality in me. That is how it has been said as a fourth. So which is free from any vikalpa, subject object vikalpa. I am nirvikalpaha. Sadame nirvikalpaha, chidananda rupa, etc. So, this state of this awarefulness minus this knower and known is said to be the fourth. Although there really not fourth. There is no fourth. There is only one. One is in fact which is the self, that is Atma. That is the sakshi. That is real observer, if you want to say, or that is just witness, if you want to, sakshi, if you want to say. That is indicated by the word Atma in the second mantra. That is equated with the Brahman. That Brahman is everything, means Atma is everything. If Atma is everything, what is there is apparent. Absolutely. If what is there is just clay, then all that is there, various pots and all, sarvam which is used for all that, pots and pans, all are apparent. That's what your glory is. So it is something like, the fourth, etc. It's something like an actor, which appears in a three scenes in a play. And in each scene he plays a different role. And in one he is a king, and in other he is a minister, in the third he is a renunciate. They are merely roles, three states of that same person. So I want to know what the actor really is. So I could say that, what I know as is the fourth. Because really speaking, when I really discover who the actor is, then I say, he is not this. He is not a renunciate. He is not a king. He is not this. He is the fourth. Please understand. So the actor, in fact, actor only playing these three roles is only one. All the three are one. Remaining one, you appear three. Remaining one, you appear as a waker and waking world. Don't say I am waker is mithyā, etc. No, that's not correct. Waker and waking world both are your appearances. Please understand. Neither a waking world in terms of even a space, time, or any object can derive an existence independent of you. Please understand. So the waker and waking world is your appearance. The subject-object duality in a one state of experience is entirely you. Please understand, that is the meaning of second mantra, Ayam Ātman Brahman, that is the Mahavakya. In fact, that is what it means. And therefore, that one alone is the real, the three are apparent. You can say that, the actor is the king, minister, and the renunciate. But to say that, you must first establish who the actor is, and therefore, in that case, so to establish then, who the actor is, we will say he is not a renunciate, he is not a king, he is not a minister, he is the fourth one. Then I can say, that king, the actor alone appears as these three. In fact, remaining actor appears all the three. And therefore, all the three becomes apparent. To indicate, to identify a distinct actor, I will say he is not these three. He is the fourth. Then after understanding him, identifying him, then we say, he alone appears as all the three. All the three are apparent. What is there is just one, not fourth. What is there is just one. Just one. Understand, this is the core of the Vedanta. One non-dual Atma. One non-dual, one without second. There is no second thing at all. I am waker is not reality. Waker is I, even the waking world is I. I am free from both. Waker is subject, object is I, but I am not, I am free from the subject object. Vikalpa. I am nirvikalpa. This is what we have to understand. So basically one has to do this viveka all the time, and that viveka is in terms of I am a pure consciousness, which is really speaking, which is limitless. I am Ātman Brahman, which is limitless. And limitless means it's not just limitless. It's not like space. Even though we give an example, sarvam hi etad Brahma. That Brahman is Atma. Therefore, all that is there is oneself. All that is there is Brahman, means all that is there is I, myself. Means what? all that is there in any state of experience is myself. And any state of experience is in terms of subject-object. That is just me. Like that king, minister, and a renunciate is I alone. To understand I to identify myself as just consciousness, I will say, well, this is not I. Means this waker and the waking world is not I. That I may say I am the fourth. Once you identify fourth, then you say, oh, that alone appears. And when you understand you are limitless consciousness, which is Brahman, then all that is there is me in any state of experience. Therefore, one and all appears as all the three. Really speaking, so it is not the fourth one. Really speaking, it is not like that. Anyway, so this is, and therefore we always say you don't need an experience of Brahman. Really speaking, because what is there in any state of experience is yourself. What you experience is you. The very experiencer is you. You don't need any special experience of yourself, because without you, there is no experience. We have to erase the word experience. Experience means consciousness. And therefore, Vedanta does not tell you to have an experience of the whole self. Vedanta analyzes the experiences which you have already, the three states of experiences, Jagrat, Sapna and Sushupti, and tells you to recognize that what is present in all experiences is yourself. It's not a question. To understand, to know myself is not to experience myself. To know myself is to recognize myself present in all the experiences. What is there is you. That's it. What is there is you. What is you. No, what is Ishvara. That is what it says. Sarvam etad Brahma, I am Ātma Brahman. And therefore what is there, very beautifully it is said, what is there in a time, a given time, in past and present and future, that is you. What is beyond all the three, that is Turīya, that is you. That's a reality, in fact, that you are timeless Brahman. What is present in a given experience, which is time-bound as a waker and the waking world, is you. In a dreamer and the dream world is you. All that is there is one whole, nothing else. That is what you have to recognize. You have not to experience. You are present. You cannot go away from any experience of yourself. What is there in any experience is yourself, which you don't know. You have to recognize it. That right now you are seeing me is all that is one self. The very seer and the sight and the very object of sight is just within one consciousness. I am that consciousness, which appears as the seer and the sight and the object of sight. That is what you have to understand. In a waking state, this recognition can happen. Even though you have experience of the wholeness in a deep sleep state, that will not help you, because the avarana is there. So, what is the difference between, that's what it is going to say. The difference between you and Parameshvara is just a avarana which is you, which is there with you. And that is also mithyā. So you have to understand it is as mithyā. That's it. That's how in the third state it has been said this Prajña is a Ishvara. There is no difference at all between you and Ishvara, other than you say that I am not Ishvara. Bas. That's the difference. That's the avarana which is born of the upadhi, which Parameshvara's upadhi. You are Parameshvara, but the upadhi is that karana sharira which brings this avarana, and that avarana is there. And you are saying, I am not Ishvara. That is that avarana, that particular type of a appreciation that I am not Ishvara, it makes a difference between you and Ishvara. That's it. There is no difference. That's how in the sixth mantra it is going to say this Prajna is a Sarveshvara, Sarvagniha, etc. etc. Antaryami, Sarvantaryami. So therefore you are the, because that is Brahman which is the cause of everything, because everything is Brahman, that is Atma, that is Mahavakya. Therefore you are everything, you are cause of everything, you are everything. Then what is the difference between you and Parameshvara? There is no difference other than the Upadhi. And that Upadhi is that Karana Upadhi which brings this Avarana. I am different from Ishvara, or I am not Ishvara. That's a difference. Not really it has created difference. Your own error, born of that ignorance, that I am not Ishvara, makes a difference between you and Ishvara. That's what the sixth mantra is going to say. So please understand. So what I mean, I am very much present as a whole in seeing, hearing, walking, talking, thinking, doubting, in all of them. What is there is myself. That recognition is called knowledge. No other thing, no special experience. When you say, I want to experience Brahman, definitely you, the experience, are going to be different, because that is going to be the object of experience. And here we are talking about you are subject, object, everything. Even subject, object also is not your modification. That is just your appearance. Like actors, he has not modified into a renunciate or a king or etc. Actor appears as the three. Therefore, one remaining, one undergoes, appears in three states as a waker, etc., and the waking world. So, there is only one, and that one is I. To see that one is a recognition, is not an experience. There is no experience. Experience is only with reference to an object other than you. Time being, other than you. When you understand really you, which is distinct from subject and object, which alone appears in the form of subject and object. So this is what, therefore everything is mithyā, including the waker is mithyā. Please understand, waker is mithyā, waking world is mithyā, because they both derive existence from you. They are anatma. Therefore Nishkarma Siddhikara very beautifully has proven in the second chapter, while analyzing the Mahavakya, says, Mahavakya means you are Brahman, but you means Ahankara. Ahankara cannot be equated with Brahman. Brahman is Atma. So when you say you are Brahman, means Anatma is equated with the Atma. No, he says Ahankara is Anatma. But then still, what is there behind this Ahankara, Anatma, which is mithyā? What is there behind mithyā is this Satyam. The very mind which assumes a role of a subject, knower, etc., Ahankara, and along with the Chidabhasa is because of me alone. I am the consciousness which, and the mind along with the Chidabhasa is non-separate from me. So I alone appear as a very knower. I alone appear as the very object of experience in a given state. And both of them definitely are proven existent in consciousness. Both of them are proven known. First they become an object of knowledge while in consciousness, and thereby existence also is proven. So this is a drishti srishti. This is a drishti srishti vada. So therefore, I am, therefore everything is. This is how we have to understand. With this understanding of oneself as limitless consciousness, a self-existing consciousness, whose existence is not derived by any other thing other than itself. Therefore, that I can very well say, I am, therefore everything is, in any state of experience. This is a prakriya here in a Mandukya. It's little, you can say, to prove Satyam-mithyā, this is a little very, very profound prakriya. Honestly, it is very profound. To prove, the creation is there, which is karya, and there must be a karana, which is Brahman, which is consciousness, and that alone pervades, karana pervades the karya, and therefore karya is mithyā, karanam is satyam, etc., etc. That is fine. Srishti Drishtivada is fine. But Mandukya employs this. I am, therefore everything is. And therefore I am, therefore everything is, means I lend existence to everything. Therefore whatever thing you are seeing and the very seer both exist, well, because of me. So I am alone appearing as both. naturally. If I lend existence to both, they are simply names and forms of me alone. Right? If pot derives and a pan derives an existence from the clay, it's ultimately clay. He alone appears as pot and pan, etc. So this is what the thing is. You have to keep this thing in mind constantly in any state of discussion, any state of experience which we discuss between 3 to 7, 3 to 6 especially. Third state discusses a waking state. Fourth state discusses a dream state. Fifth and sixth discuss a deep sleep state. And then seventh will, of course, will show us the identity. Will give you the knowledge of who you are really speaking. And then you will understand that all the three states of experiences are mithyā. What obtains in three states of experience, subject, object, etc., waker, etc., and the waking world, everything is mithyā. And therefore, in that also there will be a differences. They are mutually exclusive. The mutual exclusiveness itself proves the mithyātvam. Mutual exclusiveness means one comes, then the other goes. Means what? It is mithyā. Satyam thing cannot be negated. Satyam thing cannot go anywhere, cannot be negated, never available for negation is Satyam. And therefore these things come and go, available for negation. Therefore they are mithyā. Then where the mithyā is, there must be some Satyam. Otherwise you cannot say mithyā. If you cannot prove what is Satyam, mithyā becomes Satyam. Mithyā itself becomes Satyam. If you say what is Satyam, then you understand what is mithyā. If you cannot prove that there is rope, then you cannot say sarpa is mithyā. Sarpa automatically, even though you say mithyā, sarpa will become real. So therefore you have to say there is a rope which is Satyam. Oh, then the sarpa is mithyā. Therefore when you say all these three are mithyā, mutually exclusive, etc., there must be someone who is present as the very basis of all, which is the Satyam, and that is you. Therefore you are distinct from all the three. You are fourth that way. But really speaking, you only are present in all the three, and whatever is there in that experience as a waker in the waking world or the subject, object, etc., is your own appearances. And therefore, then you understand this, then addition or removal of a entire state of experience on you. Either the whole state is added in you, the waker and the waking world is added to you, well, doesn't make any difference. What is apparent cannot create any difference in what is Satyam. And therefore that's how even the snake cannot. You add a snake in a rope, you remove the snake, now so rope remains rope. Addition or removal, please understand mithyā means this. Addition or removal of a given thing cannot create any difference in what is Satyam, being apparent. Otherwise, when addition or a removal of a given thing makes a difference, then both are of the equal order of reality. And therefore, this is how we have to understand. Therefore, the entire waking world is mithyā, the waker is mithyā. And therefore, kartā, bhoktā is mithyā. Therefore, the body, mind, senses, along with that you say I am a waker, identifying with that, which we are going to discuss now very shortly. Identifying with the body, mind, sense complex, you are saying I am waker. Those things itself proves that they are proven existent in me, the consciousness. Therefore, they are mithyā. Therefore, whatever is done by the body, mind, sense complex in a waking state is mithyā. Therefore, kartrutvam is mithyā. The karma is mithyā. This is what Mandukya is. This is how we have to approach it. Then only the dignity of the Mandukya will remain. So, the karma is mithyā, kartrutvam is mithyā. Whatever you do in a waking state has no bearing in you. It just doesn't affect you. If you know your consciousness. If you know. If you don't know, then definitely you are sitting in the body, mind, sense complex. In that case, whatever is the waking world is going to affect you. Yeah. Because you are in the same order of reality. When you understand that this is body, mind, sense complex are proven exist because you experience them. You are conscious of them. You are conscious of thought, memory, emotions. You are conscious of hunger, thirst. You are conscious of your senses. You are conscious of your sensory power. You are conscious of your physical body. Since you are conscious of them, they are proven existent. And therefore, they definitely they don't have independent existence. I lend existence to them. And therefore, I am distinct from that. I am just pure consciousness and they are mithyā. And therefore, the waker and the waking world, of course, all that is there is proven existent. You have to go out. You have to go out of the body and say, well, the space is proven existent in consciousness because there is space consciousness. Space cannot be without space consciousness is. Space is automatically reveals that space consciousness is. Space is revealed in a self-revealing consciousness. Space is not revealing itself. Or space is not revealing me. I am revealing space. Please understand. Space does not reveal me. I reveal the space. If space is revealing me, space is consciousness. Please understand. Space is of the nature of consciousness, I am saying. Only I is one which is nature of consciousness. I prove existence of everything. I am conscious of everything. It's not just here. It's not just in this waker. It's outside also. I am conscious of the space which is in front of me. I am conscious of the space which is in the back side of me. On the right side, on the left side, this side, that side, over, above. Therefore, the space which is there outside also is totally pervaded by me, the consciousness. Not just the body, mind, sense complex. Therefore, the time and everything. And here there are concepts. Now the science is almost, I think it is since the Einstein time. So the space and time is a one fabric. You cannot separate them. It's a one fabric in which the space and time are there. They use a certain word also, and it is mithyā also. They have proven. Anyway, but we don't go by them. We say, in terms of its concepts also, it is no concept is without consciousness. And therefore, the timeless consciousness alone basically lends existence to this time. So, the consciousness which is beyond space lends existence to the space, which is free from the space, which is free from the limitations of the space, gives existence to the space. And therefore you have to go out and see. Then you find that not just waker, the waking world also is proven existent in the same consciousness. And therefore anything is, you said, anything, any damn thing you say, whether you say it or not, whether you like it or not, consciousness is. Anything. You say even that there is no consciousness, that concept, that thought is revealed by consciousness. Because it's a cognition. It's your cognition, your knowledge that there is no consciousness. It shines in your head. Its shining is just because of consciousness. The very thought, the whole thought is basically consciousness. You cannot say, Swamiji, a part of that thought, there is no consciousness. That one part of that thought is not shining by consciousness. The whole thought is in consciousness. Okay? This is like the whole wave is in water. To say that Swamiji, a particular part of the thought is not in consciousness is by consciousness. Okay? And therefore, ultimately, you are the whole. This is called Brahmakara Vritti. Akhandakara Vritti is nothing that I see something akhanda. This is what? You are everything. The waker and the waking world, these vikalpas are mithyā. You alone appear as both. You are pure consciousness which is free from this subject-object vikalpa, which alone appear as the waker and the waking world. That recognition is called akhandakara vritti. So, there is nothing you are seeing. You cannot see something whole outside. Whole. If to say, you say, Swamiji, the whole I want to see as an object. How can it be possible? Then where are you? If you are away from the whole, then there is a hole in the whole. And therefore, there cannot be. Whole should include you. Therefore, you require to appreciate that both the subject and object is one consciousness. Understand this. So never try to experience consciousness. The very experience right now you can understand. Right now, at this moment you can understand that the seer is seer consciousness, sight consciousness, object of sight consciousness. Where is the object of sight without consciousness? Where is the very sight, the cognition is without consciousness? Where is seer without consciousness? But then I am seer, Swamiji. Next moment you are doer. Next moment you are here. Next moment you are. So they are all apparent. They are excluding each other. They are excluding each other. But that idea, the very idea that I alone was seer and I alone now am hearer, I alone now am eater and I alone, means there is one I, which is invariably present in all these small eyes, ahankaras. That's the invariable factor. That's the basis. Seer alone arises from that, resolves into that. Object of sight arises from that, resolves into that. Object of sight is added into that, resolves into that. Removed. You remain consciousness, limitless consciousness. Any fact, I'm going a little way, other way. Any fact means to which you lend an existence cannot affect the very cause which lends existence. Anyway, so the three padas have been discussed here very beautifully. The first pada is discussed here as of a waking state, in which whatever obtains in the waking state, the body, mind, sense complex, this physical body, mind, sense complex, and the waking world, both are mithyā, and you are the very basis. Where the mithyā is, there the Satyam is. In fact, mithyā is Satyam. Satyam is not mithyā. The waker is I. The waking world is I. They are my appearances. I am not the waker. I am not this. Actor is actor, but king is actor. Actor is not the king. The renunciate is the actor, but actor is not the renunciate. Minister is the actor, but actor is not minister. I am distinct from all the three, therefore I am fourth that way. But really speaking, whatever is there in all the three, from the hair of the renunciate, hair of the king, or hair of the minister, to the eyes of the, all that is there is just one. These three are just roles, apparent roles. That's it. There, that of course, you know, Swamiji, but then definitely there is some costume. Just don't go into that. Take it, the certain aspects which a teacher discusses. Those aspects only you see, not other aspects. Otherwise, the actor becomes Atma. Actor becomes Brahman. Actor is Brahman in other way, but actor becomes Brahman. So Drishtanta, Dashtanta will have some differences. So certain aspects only you have to see. Anyway, so this anatmas of the waker, etc., I mean the waker and waking world, dreamer and deep sleep, they are again divided into two. And the first is, in each quarter, as I told you, is Vyashti Samashti. And well, Atma alone appears as this waker, Atma alone appears the waking world. Therefore, the division is a division of a Vyashti and Samashti, the individual and the total, like that. But it is appearance. So that is how in each state they are going to equate this individual and the total, because ultimately it is one Atma alone appears as both. Therefore, it is not that how can a individual is equated with the total, but there is no distinction at all, because they are apparent. There will be, if Vyashti is real and Samashti, then Samashti also becomes real. If Samashti, and in that case, well, the division also will be real. In that case, in a single description, either they should, in a given description, they should either describe a Samashti, or either they should talk about a Vyashti, but the division is not there. So while describing the waking state, it also talks a Samashti. Vaiśvānara also talks about a Vishva. Certain facets of Vishva have been told, and then immediately in the same Samanadikaranyam, Vaiśvānara also has been said, because the division is not correct division, other than a this individual says, I am an individual, I am not total. That's it. Could you follow? I am not total. So that avarana is there. And therefore the apparent division is which is there due to upadhi is on the part of a Vyashti, not on the part of a Samashti. Ishvara doesn't have that. Anyway, so first thing here in the first quarter, the Atma, apparent Atma, the role is called Vishva. Now I would like to talk about this little Vishva, which I got it from other this Vedanta, etc., where certain things are discussed, beautifully in other text. And if I come across, I would like to share with you, and that's what I'm going to give. So I want to talk about this Vishva. What is Vishva? What is the meaning of word Vishva? Please understand. Same Atma, you the consciousness now in a one state of experience. As you are waking world, that's another thing that we know. But Samashti. But at the same time, will first take as a waker. Waker means Vishwa. And Vishwa means a bloated one or expanded one. As such, Vishwa word is a pronoun in fact. And Vishwa means a world, that's true. But Vishwa pronoun means all, actually, Sarva. Therefore, word Vishwa declines in both the ways. So Vishvaha, Vishvo, Vishvaha, etc. Or Vishvaha, Vishvo, Vishve. That's a declination by in a pronoun way. Sarvaha, Sarvau, Sarve, like that. Anyway, so Vishva means a expanded one, totally expanded, bloated one, full one. And that is very clear. Like the consciousness, suppose in a deep sleep state, we have not yet discussed, but you know now, so that I am taking that liberty. So the consciousness is in a deep sleep state. I identified with one, Karana Sharira, one costume, Karana Sharira. That's how a deep sleeper, I remaining as a I consciousness, appear as a deep sleeper because some costume, some upadhi, that is Karana Sharira. Right? So I am not functioning through a Sukshma Sharira. My mind is not functioning, intellect is not functioning. Even self-awareness also is not there in deep sleep state. That's called Omkāra is also not there. Ego is not there. Sense organs are not functioning. Means I have disidentified from Sukshma Sharira. I have no identification with the physical body also. That's also everybody's experience. And so definitely during deep sleep state, I have one costume. Just one costume, Karana Sharira. And then I come to the dream state. During dream state, well, I am using a Sukshma Sharira also. So a complete Sukshma Sharira is also, I am not using, but partly. The vasanas or memory part of the Sukshma Sharira, we call Chittam also, you can say, well, which is responsible for projection of the dream world. Either you say I use my dream memory, I use my vasanas, or I identify with the part of the mind. One part is Chittam. Well, I identify, and definitely that becomes a costume, and therefore, the same Atma, without an addition of anything, because these upadhis are mithyā. Therefore, if they are added, doesn't make any difference. Removed also not a difference, but he right now addition. Added this upadhi. Right? Well, no, it doesn't make any difference. But now with that upadhi, mithyā upadhi, now I am called, same Atma is called now dreamer. Now two upadhis. See, little expansion. And then, so during dream, Swamiji, how many bodies I have? How many costumes? Two, not one. Karana Sharira already have. And now Sukshma Sharira also added. So you can put a I sense in a Sukshma Sharira without Karana Sharira. That's not possible. First you have to identify with the Karana Sharira. Then with that, because the Sukshma Sharira is connected to the Karana. Karya is always connected to Karana, and therefore unless you have identified with the Karana Sharira, that is called Jiva, with that Upadhi. That is what I am going to discuss. With a Upadhi Pradhanya, you are a Jiva. Ishvara also has a Upadhi, Maya Upadhi. But the predominance of Upadhi is not there. That's what Bhagavan said. Prakriti Ashritya, etc., Sambhavami, etc. He said, I take my Prakriti under my control, means it is under my control, and I take avatar, etc. So when Upadhi becomes a Pradhanya, Upadhi's predominance is there in a Upahita, means there is an identification. So means the gunas of the Upadhis have been taken by the same Brahman or the Atma, and one says oneself as a Jiva. In Ishvara, Upadhi is there, Maya Upadhi, but there is no predominance of that. He knows I am Brahman, etc. Definitely. And therefore Bhagavan said in 4th chapter, I think very clearly, that this Upadhi Pradhanya is not there, etc. Means it is under my control. My Upadhi is under my control. Anyway, but so here, two bodies, Karana Sharira and Sukshma Sharira Abhimana. So even if I say just a Sukshma Sharira Abhimanam, you will not say bloated. Bloated means now identification, Karana Sharira is already there, and that is Anadi, and this Sukshma Sharira Abhimani now is there in a dream state. And then further, in a waking state, now you have identification in a gross body also. Therefore, you are now totally bloated, totally fully expanded. You have expanded through Upadhis. Please understand, it's not reality. You are fully expanded. That's called Vishva. That's a waker. That's a waker. It is like, this is very nice to say, like a person who is in the home has just a banyan. This is just an example. And he is having only banyan. When he goes out in this season like summer, he wears one more thing and shirt. I hope that banyan he doesn't remove. So banyan is there, and then you wear a shirt if you go out in this. And winter comes, one more. To the extent that a kekli or a person who is totally, a very thin person also looks very. That's how they say, Swami, here to protect yourself in winter, have a layers. Yeah. So a person who is fully blown, Vishwa in a winter here, a fully blown person, so many layers. And once again he comes home, he removes all the three. Remains only with the banyan. That's a deep sleep state, okay? So therefore, this is how the three layers are. Therefore, you have now understood the meaning of word Vishwa. Identification with all the three bodies. Just don't say identifying with only gross body. So you have come up to this now. And you are ready even to go further. See, that's how Bahish Prajna we have discussed already. In the first state, Bahish Prajna, the consciousness as though goes out through the knower, as a Chidabhasa goes out and pervades everything, right? And therefore the waker and waking world both are pervaded by one consciousness, that is you. And so they both are appearances of it. So that is being discussed here. Of course, what Vishwa you don't find in the third mantra, but Vaiśvānara comes. But we have to understand it because the wakers' certain features have been told now. And what is that? Jagarita sthana. We have discussed all this. So this is the first quarter of the Atma, which is associated with the waking state. Wakers, anatma, you can say the body, mind, etc. Body, mind and senses and all. That is all anatma. So that is called Vishwa, associated with the with this physical body. So it's a Jagarita sthana, Bahish Prajna, naturally. And through that, through this body now, well, identifying with the body, I also illumine entire world, right? I have told you. So the world is illumined not directly by consciousness, ultimately by consciousness, but not directly. Well, you illumine them. As a witness, you illumine the mind, and that mind becomes, with the Chidabhasa, becomes a knower, ego, and that illumines the world through the senses, etc. But ultimately you are the illuminator, that's for sure. We have seen even in a Drisha Viveka also, I think I gave you the example of the two knowers here. And so then it says Saptangaha will keep it away. Ekona Vimshati Mukha, because Saptanga is applicable to Vaiśvānara, but it is said in the same Jagrita Sthana. Along with the Vishva, it has been said. Means Vishva, Vaiśvānara differences are not there at all. It's not that Saptangaha is a characteristic of a Vaiśvānara. Saptanga is a characteristic of Vishva as though, because Vishva and Vaiśvānara are one alone. How Vishva and Vaiśvānara alone? Essentially one Atma alone. So upadhis are different, but upadhis are mithyā, the differences are mithyā, and therefore what is there is you alone. You alone appear as everything. Without you, the consciousness, nothing has an existence. You are, therefore everything is, and therefore a waker and waking world both is your appearances. And therefore you can say. So from the samashti standpoint, I will be called a cosmic being, and from the Veshti standpoint, well, you will be called waker, etc. Because one Atma, you have to associate with Atma ultimately, same Atma. Either a samashti, then you will say, well, consciousness associated with the samashti, then you say cosmic being. But that cosmic being and this individual being are one consciousness alone. Because here also a consciousness associated with or identified with this gross, all the three bodies, consciousness associated with the entire this waking gross world is one consciousness. And so consciousness is looked from two different angles. Either from the total samashti angle, we call it as a Ishvara, Virat Purusha, and here the consciousness associated with the three bodies is called an individual being. But really speaking, everything is mithyā. They are proven existence in you. That you should hold on to. Without me, nothing has an existence. Either of the three bodies, either of the world outside. And thereby you will be able to appreciate you are in the form of a Vaiśvānara also, etc. Anyway, then Ekona Vimshati Mukhaha. So Vishwa has this 19 instruments of transaction, 5 sense organs of knowledge, for gaining knowledge, for knowing, 5 organs of action for responding, 5 sense organs for knowing, and 5 organs of action for responding. And 5-fold physiological functions without which life itself is impossible. And that's how I said Vishwa is a fully bloated one. So identification with the gross body, subtle body, and of course causal body is there since Anadi, since a beginningless time. Anyway, so these are the 19 mouths of this Vishwa. 5 sense organs, 5 organs of action, 5 pranas, and mind, and then intellect, memory, and Ahankara. Ahankara is given by Ishvara, because you have to identify. You have to say, because all these are functioning. Mind functions, senses functions, organ of action functions. Then there must be someone who claims all function, all actions are happening. Immediately next akanksha, next expectancy is what? Who is doing? Therefore it's an arrangement. Ahankara is an arrangement which claims I am doing. This we call subject. Yeah. So if eyes are seeing, no, I am seeing. We look down upon this Ahankara. We should not. It's Ishvara basically. It is Ishvara's manifestation, this Ahankara also. If entire mind is his manifestation, then Ahankara also is manifestation. Chittam, etc., everything is his manifestation, then Ahankara also. So, please understand, this is how you have to look upon everything as inclusive. This is a vision of inclusiveness. Nothing is to be discarded here. What you discard has a more reality for a person, to the discarder. What you discard means it is bothering you. Nothing is to bother you. Understanding mithyā, it should not bother you. It's you. It's you, your own manifestation, your own appearance. You have to literally give emphasis on that. It is nothing to be discarded here. What is discarded is Brahman, you. And you are a discarder also is Brahman. Please understand. Nothing is to be discarded. This is the Atma Chatushpad. Literally, it has made me mad. Honestly, this is the model which gives you an entire vision, a non-dual vision of yourself, that there is nothing other than you. Therefore, Ahankara also is an arrangement. A subject is given so that it can claim whatever is done by the mind, senses, pranas, organs of action, etc. Anyway, and therefore, and that subject alone undergoes a sukha dukkha, right, naturally. Therefore, that way prarabdha is exhausted also. Without ahankara, where is prarabdha? Who will exhaust prarabdha? Who exhausts prarabdha? Brahman exhausts prarabdha? Consciousness does not have a prarabdha. Consciousness, there is nothing other than consciousness. That's an arrangement. Therefore, the body is given to whom? The same ahankara, this jiva, individual. Anyway, there is no jiva, but whatever in the empirical reality is there, that's what I am saying. Anyway, okay. And so this, and all these 19 mouths are there with which it does various functions, knowing, responding, and these 5 physiological functions without which the life is impossible. Then, mind, of course, is coordinating an emotional faculty. Buddhi, the intellect, is a judging and assessing, discriminating, or rational faculty, you can say. Chittam is a faculty of recollection from your experiences. And Ahankara, ego faculty, which I already told to you, which identifies everything with everything and claims itself as a subject of everything, or subject of every activity. So these are 19 counters of interaction for the Vishwa. Same Atma, which is identified with all the 3 bodies, has these features. Prajña, whose consciousness goes out, and also Jagrita Sthana, which is obtained in a waking state, and Ekonavimshati Mukha has 19 counters to interact, to counter with the world. And Sthula Book, Sthula Book, it is the experiencer of Vishwa, is the experiencer of a gross material universe. In dream, of course, the experience objects are nothing but one's own thoughts. So, dreamer universe is just a thought universe, memory universe, vasana universe, you can say. Universe born of Chittam, you can say. Anyway, so this is a regarding Vishwa. Now, very quietly, it is one feature has been added, that's a Vaiśvānara, that's of a Vaiśvānara, and that is Saptangaha, Vaiśvānara. Saptanga also is a feature of a Vaiśvānara, and Vaiśvānara is equated with the Vishwa here. What is Vaiśvānara? I got it from, again, I am telling you, from Vedansara. Beautiful. It says, Sarvanara Abhimanitvat Vaiśvānara. Vishwa means, I told you already, all. So, Sarvanara, Vishvanara Abhimanitvat. Vishwa means Sarva. And Nara Abhimanitvat. Nara, what is Nara? Well, Nara means a living being. Any living being. So, identifying with all living beings. No. Identifying with the physical bodies. We are talking about this Jagrita Sthana. So, identifying with not just this body, that's a Vishwa, but identifying same Atma, not just identified with one gross body. Same Atma identifies with the entire, all the gross bodies. So, various living beings are of several types, and they have different types of bodies, right? Like in a plant kingdom all itself, you see how many varieties. Means how many types of gross bodies the plant living being has. Right? So it's in a plant kingdom, you will see the variety. In an insect kingdom, varieties of the physical bodies. In aquatic animals, you will see varieties. In other animals here on the earth, etc. On the land, I mean. Several types of bodies. One who just identifies not this with this gross body, also identify with the entire gross prapancha. All the gross bodies. That's a Vaiśvānara. That's how the Vaiśvānara also is called Virāt. Vividham rajate iti Virāt. That is the description in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Vishvarupa. Either you say Vishvarupa, either you say Vaiśvānara, either you say Virāt. But Swami, here there is I feel that I am this. I am this, Swamiji. If I identify with everything, I don't feel that I am, like your body is your body. I never feel that I am Swami. I never say I am Swami because I don't identify with you. That's through Karana Sharira, identification. Karana Sharira. If that is not there, your identification with the all, because you lend existence to everything. Everything is your form only. All the physical manifestation is your form. Entire gross world. And therefore, the consciousness associated with the entire gross prapancha is called Sthula prapancha, or all the gross bodies, Vaishvānara, is called Vaiśvānara. Sarvanara abhimanitvat. You have an identification like I am this is not reality, you know very well. I am this is not a reality. But why I am saying I am this? Karana Sharira. Ignorance. With the Karana Sharira, you have, because you haven't identified with the Karana Sharira, therefore you are calling it Jiva. Therefore you identify with the subtle body also. You say I am mind, I am senses, etc. And also you say I am physical body, which is not reality. The reality is you are just a consciousness and the bodies are mithyā actually. And therefore, if you want to say can say you are identifying with everything. All are manifestation of you only. So either from the standpoint of a Vishva, either from the standpoint of a Vaiśvānara, there is one consciousness alone which is present as the basis in both Vishva and Vaiśvānara. And therefore, ultimately they are equated because the truth of both is one alone. Vyashti and Samashti's truth is one alone. The division of Vyashti and Samashti is basically on the part of Vyashti. Please understand. Not Samashti creates a division. Ishvara doesn't have that division. Oh, this Jiva is different from me. Vyashti has a division. Vyashti has this avarana that I am different from Ishvara, or I am different from the world. That's how I said the division between you and Parameshvara is ultimately a avarana on your part. If that is not there, you are also ready to say, I am Parameshvara. And that is how, that's a reality. Therefore, they are equated. Vishva and Vaiśvānara are equated. So, there is not an iota of a division. What is there is just one self, that is you. Anyway, and it has been said here, this Vaiśvānara is a saptanga. And so, and anyway, Virāt also I said, Vividham Rajate, which shines in varieties of the forms, in varieties of the physical bodies, etc., in the form of various physical bodies. And Sthula book also I told you, I think, and so that is that's a characteristic of a Vishva here, which experience the gross objects, identifying with the gross body and experiences the gross objects of the universe. And now Saptanga is, this has been discussed in a Chandogya Upanishad. That visualization, it's a visualization, it's a upasana, Virāt-upāsana. And there the Virāt has been discussed as a, with the 7 limbs, which covers the entire, covers the totality. What are the 7 limbs? Well, that which is discussed there. And the upper region, well, either heaven, this has come in Bhashyam, and Bhashyakara himself gave the reference of a Chandogya. We have already covered all these mantras, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So it is said there, this Virāt or Vaiśvānara, the cosmic being, this is the difference. When you say the world, etc., or say nature, that's what you don't appreciate a consciousness behind the reality. Then you will say the world, or you will say nature. Scientists say nature. But when you say it is in fact the whole world is pervaded by consciousness, means it's a conscious being. That's the reality of that. Like here in this body, understand, every part is conscious, because one consciousness pervades the whole body. Therefore, I can say the consciousness has several parts. I can even say the head belongs to me. This is one of my anga, because consciousness pervades the entire gross body. Without consciousness, you cannot prove the existence of the gross body. Therefore, that consciousness, as a chidabhasa, etc., pervades this, makes the body live. That's how there is a life. So you can look upon the consciousness from various parts. One consciousness pervades. Same way, one consciousness, you pervade even the cosmic being. And now various limbs have been discussed. Those limbs belongs to Vaiśvānara, is ultimately limbs belongs to you. That is what Virāt-upāsana is. I am Virāt. And therefore what you do is, it's a Ahangara upasana, where you say the head of the cosmic being is this head. What is the head of the cosmic being? Well, that is the heaven. That has been discussed there. So the upper region, the heaven, is the head. Then sun and moon are the eyes of the cosmic being. One who does this upasana says, upasana on a Virāt, will say the sun and moon, which are the eyes of the cosmic beings, are these eyes. So he is superimposing the Virāt Purusha upon himself. Could you follow what I am saying? This Virāt-upāsana has been discussed, is very well known in Veda. Very, very well known. Not just here it is in a Chandogya. It is there in Prajña Upanishad. It is there in Katha Upanishad. In fact, the discussion on a Nachiketa Agni, etc., that's a ritual part. Then Upasana has been discussed. And there it has been said that the Virāt is superimposed upon this fire of that ritual, Nachiketa ritual. There is a fire. So the Virāt is superimposed upon that fire and done Upasana. Then you will definitely get an enhanced result of that Nachiketa ritual, etc. Karma gives you result, but karma along with the Upasana which is enjoined, along with the ritual, that enjoined Upasana gives you an enhanced result. That's what even Chandogya also talks about it. I don't want to go into that, but always Viryavattaram bhavati. Chandogya uses this word, Viryavattaram. So definitely rituals definitely give you, they are efficacious, they will give you the result. But then basically if you do Upasana, which is enjoined of course, with the ritual, gives you a better result. Anyway, so this cosmic being is this being, like that the cosmic being you superimpose upon that. For that purpose you will have to discuss what are the limbs of a cosmic being. In keeping with the limbs you have, you the conscious being, the individual has. And so head of the cosmic means the heaven. That is this head. Like that. Anyway, the sun and moon are the eyes, illumining everything. These eyes illumine everything. They are the sun and moon. So I am that conscious being, like that. The entire atmosphere which is there is a life breath. And fire principle, of course, is the mouth. And that's how in a Vedic ritual we offer all these offerings we give in a, naturally any offering goes here. Therefore offering we offer in the fire. Fire is considered as a mouth. And that's how even in 11th chapter Bhagavan opens the mouth and there you see the fire. So this is how it is. The fire is basically The fire which is prevalent in this cosmos is the mouth of that cosmic being, Virat Purusha. Anyway, the entire space which you see right now, which we call generally as an antariksha, which is there between earth and the heaven, the interim space is the interim part. Here is the heaven and it is going to come, earth is the legs. Then the interim part, right, the body part, is the which is a space here. Here is a heaven, earth is the feet of the cosmic being. Then interim space is the interim part of the cosmic being, interim body of the cosmic being. So this interim body is the body of the interim body of the cosmic being. The space is my interim body. Understand this. This is so. It's. I mean, you can understand what a principle is. The you basically, I is identified with this. I am identified with this. When you do this Virāt-upāsana, your I is automatically disidentified with one body, and that I is identified with the Virat. You can understand. For such a person to say you are everything is very, very easy. When somebody says you are everything, oh, you pervade everything, we feel no. It is like a sprinkling a water on a hot tawa of the pav bhaji tawa. You sprinkle, just within a fraction of a second goes away. Same way this goes away. Oh, everything is Brahman. Brahman is the cause of everything, and therefore everything is Brahman. That is you. You are everything. You are space. You are that. Oh, leave Swami. Time is over now. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.